Welcome to Tim's Board Game Review Episode 7. In this review, he'll be going through the game called Jambo. Jambo is a two-player card game. It goes for about half an hour. The theme of this game is that you're in Africa and running your own market where you're buying and selling goods. The person who's the best at operating their market will earn the most gold and therefore win the game.
Thanks for the intro, Sheena. So now let's see what you get inside the box. There is a 6-page colour rulebook. Each player gets a large market stand which you use for storing wares that you buy and sell during the game. There are playing cards which include ware cards, people cards, animal cards, utility cards and small market stands. There are the gold pieces for 1 and 5 golds which you use to buy wares and that you receive when you sell wares. There are action markers which each person uses during their turn. And there are the wares which you are trying to buy cheaply and then sell for profit. This is what a game set up to start would look like. At the start of the game you get a large market stand, 20 gold pieces and 5 cards from the deck. Players then alternate in taking turns. Each turn is split into 2 phases. During your turn you can use up to 5 actions designated by the action markers. In the first phase, a player has to take cards from the top of the draw pile until they find a card that they want to add to their hand. Each card turned over takes up one of your 5 actions. Once you take a card, phase 1 of your turn is finished. In phase 2 you're able to use cards, and each card used costs 1 action. The ware cards allow you to buy or sell the wares on the card. You need to have enough money and space in your market to buy the wares. The purchase cost is the lower value shown on the bottom left of the corner of the card. If you have all the wares in your market as depicted on the card, you are able to sell those wares for the price shown on the bottom right hand corner of the card. If you buy a small market stand, it allows you to store more wares for sale. When you use a people card, you execute the action on the card and then discard it. Animal cards can be used to potentially mess around with your opponent's plans unless they play a guard card to cancel the card's effect. If a utility card is played, it remains in play and from then on can be used to potentially give you additional options and flexibility in buying and selling goods or collecting cards. Each time a utility card is used, it costs 1 action. Once you've used up your maximum of 5 actions, it is now your opponent's turn. A typical game turn might be as follows. In your first action you may turn a card over, not like it, add it to the discard pile. In your second action you might take a card off the top of the deck, like the card, add it to your pile, add it to your hand. In your third action you may buy some wares from one of the cards that you hold in your hand, add these wares to your market stand. In your fourth action you may pay some gold to the bank to get an additional ware, and finally in your fifth action you may sell some wares back to the supplier. Player continues to proceed until one player gets 60 or more gold at the end of their turn. The other player then gets one last chance to try and equal or exceed the number of gold that the first player has. So even if you don't get to 60 points first, you can still potentially win the game. So these are my ratings for this game. The components, you get some nice quality cards with some really great artwork and some nice little cardboard pieces. Luck's, it's probably rated, I'd rate that medium level of luck. You're having to randomly pull cards from the top of the deck and sometimes the cards just don't go your way. Fun, look, it's a nice shortish game and it is basically a race, so the tension builds through the game as you're getting closer to your goal. And there's also the ability to sort of mess around with your opponent's plans, so it's quite fun if you like doing that sort of thing. Complexity and depth would be medium. There's quite a few cards to become familiar with, and the various combinations of cards take a while to understand their sort of full potential. So essentially, while there is quite a simple set of rules, there is quite a number of various card combinations that result in a large degree of depth to the game. Replayability would be medium as well. The game is fairly simple and will generally follow quite a similar pattern, but each time you play it you'll have quite a different set of cards, so it'll remain fresh for quite a while due to the large number of combinations of cards that you're going to encounter. Overall, I'll give this game 8 out of 10. It's a nice solid little game for 2 players. There's some degree of luck, but depending on the cards you have, you'll be able to implement a different strategy each time you play it to try and win. So I hope you enjoyed the review, and until next time, see you later.